Thank you for purposing to tune in with us today. It's such a great honor. And for those of you who are watching us on Facebook Live streaming, we are humbled to be here today. We are Transformers Hub, and we commit ourselves to living to our greatness and ensuring that we transform lives timelessly, regardless of our background, our faith, our social status, our geographical location, the schools we went to. We believe trapped on the inside of us is enormous potential for us to transform our communities, our neighborhoods, our societies, and all the areas of jurisdiction that we are placed in today. Well, without you, I reckon we wouldn't have been airing till this far. But we want to say thank you, kudos to you for always purposing to be here. Today we are having the extension of our the real you identifiers or the indicators of the real you. We did handle this in the first session, understanding who is the real you. We went ahead to understand why the real us. Why does man need to find the real him, to discover the real him, to recover the real him, to unleash the real him? Because one of man's worst unmakings in his life is his ignorance to the real him. Today, man is a mere dummy of himself just because he's short of himself, just because of his ignorance of who he really is. Who are you really? Man is suffering. 98% of man's worst unmakings are a result of his failure to identify, to indicate who he really is. And most of the problems that man suffers, that experiences, are a result of him being in failure to understand what was he created to do. What is he actually, besides what the schools have told him, what the societies have told him, besides what the cultures has adopted him to believe and think that is what he is meant to be. So we are here to demystify, to unravel that mystery and tell you that trapped on the inside of you is enormous potential, ingenuity. That is the real you. Trapped on the inside of you is gifts, talents that are meant to bring you to a place of a higher living. And the real you is not trapped in your, let me put this clear. It is not trapped in the geographical location you come from, the kind of friends you have, the circle of friends you have, the schools you went to, the property you have, the housing you have, the clothing you have, the car you have. It is not in that. That is what the world has kind of defined, identified us as. The higher living, that's what you are called to be. If you have a car, if you have a property, if you have you come from such a geographical location, if you went to such schools, if you are raised by these parents, if you are with this kind of circles of friends, that is the real you. That is the life you need to be. No. That does not define you. Those are benefits of the real you, but they are not the real you. They are only extended subsidiary benefits of the real you. They are not the real you. The real you is trapped in the potential, the inward abilities, the inward ingenuity, the enormous capabilities that are trapped on the inside of you. And when they are unleashed, when they are unraveled, that is what the world is waiting for. Because all along you are living in a life of self-abuse, because you've never come to live fully into what you are designed to offer to the world. The world will only celebrate you and take you to the ladders of a higher living, the ladders of being celebrated, the ladders of you becoming a legacy, becoming a personality of influence, transformation, a change agent, an impactful persona. The ladders to those pedigrees are trapped in the talents you offer to the world, the giftings you offer to the world, your abilities you offer to the world. But because you're not fully living into those abilities, you're not fully living into that ingenuity, you're not fully living into those solutions that you're meant to offer to the world. That's why today you are enslaved as a pauper, as an employee, as a person looking out for handouts from the people that have successfully lived their ingenuities, their abilities, their capabilities. So you need to rise up, you need to square up, you need to rethink, you need to get back to the drawing board and say, you know what? I think I'm much better than this. 98% of the world is trapped in the people that have come to live fully in their real self. Those are the people that have come to live fully into their ingenuity, inventions, enterprises, industry, in their abilities, potential giftings, people that have invented great sciences, people that are living fully in their sports arena, in their hospitality arena, in their giftings of inspiration, art, music, dance, and they are the people riding the entire world. All the wealth is trapped in their hands. Why? And we are becoming paupers to them. We are living on handouts. Why? Because we've settled to live a dummy life. We've settled to live for a life that we were not created to live. We've settled for being paupers because schools have taught us that, societies have taught us that, circles of friends are all advocating and lobbying for that. So at the end of the day, we are also entrapped in that slave mentality of mindset, that for you to be able to become somebody, you ought to look like so-and-so. You ought to come from a particular geographical location. You ought to speak a certain way. You ought to have a particular style of circle friends. You ought to have been born by maybe some parents for that are from an affluent social status. You ought to have come from certain school. No, I'm here as transformers, timeless transformer. I want to let you know that is not the case. That is not the case. You are much more than the schools you came from, than the locality you came from, than the village you came from, than the geographical location you came from. You're much more than even the parents that raised you. You are much more than the circles of friends that you surround yourself with. You are much more. Do not substitute your real you for the minimal attractive things. Do not. You're much more than what society has raised you to believe. You're much more than what your friends are trying to make you believe. You're much more than the geographical location you came from. You're much more than the schools you went to. You're much more than what your parents have convinced you that this is the ideal life. For you to be successful, you ought to be this. You are much more than that. We are all designed as solutions that are being awaited for us to offer to the world to solve the existing unique problems. What is it that you have on the inside of you that can solve a problem that is existing within your locality, within your village, within your community, within your neighborhood, within your state, among the nation, and around the globe? What is that thing? That is the real you. Do not settle for anything else. So in other words, we ought to ask ourselves a question. Having known the real you, what is the real you? And how do I get to identify the real me? Because that's where the complex, the paradox, the maze is. How do I break out of this maze? How do I break out of it? I don't know. You're talking about the real me. I've come up in a society where nobody has told me about this. They've told me as long as I go to school, come out of school, I'm expected to get a job. I'll leave for a job, get handouts, and then believe to get a wife, and then maybe build a house, and maybe buy a car, and then maybe if I don't buy a house, I'll rent a house, I'll get a car, and then maybe in the future, I buy a house, I buy land, I build a house. After building a house, I have children. After having children, yes, and then I raise them up, and you're living in that cycle of enslavement. You're much more than that. You're much more than that. That's what society has raised us to be. We didn't hear what we are hearing today. Culture has defined a certain lifestyle as success. But success is not trapped in the wealth you accumulate, in the circles of friends you have, in the geographical location you come from. It's neither gotten from the schools you went to, the parents that raised you. Success is your ability to be able to live in the fullness of the real you, of what you were created to offer to the world. That's what marks you as a person of legacy. That's what leaves you as a timeless transformer. That's what brings you to a place of being a change agent, an impactful person within your community, within your world, within your area, within your neighborhood. That's what makes you a timeless transformer. You're not remembered for the wealth you accumulate. You're remembered for the lives you impact around you, around your community, around your neighborhood, around the globe. What is it that you have that you shall be remembered for? What is that? And that is the real you. And that's why we came up to identify what are some of these indicators. We mentioned some of them, and for those of you who are not there, I just want to rerun through them very fast before I dig into the last 8. We looked at the unmatched passion and charisma. We looked at for anything that you're willing to die for and sacrifice yourself for. We looked at it must be personal. It must be people oriented, not personal oriented. Offering to the people, not yourself. In other words, not self-oriented, but others-oriented. It must have childhood tendency. What is that thing that you loved while we are still a child? What is that thing? It must be continually bringing value. It must be a value addition to you. When you get into it, it brings life. It births life into you. You feel you're on another planet every time you function in that thing. What is that thing? We also looked at it that it is the thing that keeps you running. You breathe it, live it, move it, and sleep and eat and drink it. It is that thing that keeps you running. You cannot settle. You wake up in the night, you think about it. You're on a function, you think about it. You're in your private place, you're thinking about it. What is that thing you breathe, eat, drink, sleep? That is the thing. And we looked at the other thing. It empowers you. It generates life. It never suffocates you, but it always empowers you, brings life into you. And the other thing, it is effortlessly done. You don't have to struggle in it. Every time you're put into that position to function in that thing, you feel you effortlessly provided. You don't have to struggle. It is like you just walking out and it will flow. It is like a river padding out of your life. It just flows. It just flows. What is that thing? That thing is the real you. Do not substitute yourself for anything else just because it looks attractive. It gives you attractive payment, salaries and wages and remunerations, and you think, oh, this is it. No, that is not the real you. The real you is that thing that you do effortlessly, and you feel life is coming out of you. That thing that you're able to offer without payment. That is the real you? What is that thing that you can do? We can offer to the world, you can offer to the people without payment for the elementary stages of it. What is that thing? And as you do it, eventually people begin to see the uniqueness, the peculiar, the quirkiness in you, which means uniqueness. What is that thing? When they see it into you, they're like, oh my goodness, this is unbelievable. He does it extraordinarily well. He is exceptional. He has an exceptionality touch towards this thing. What is that thing? When you get to do that thing, oh my goodness, everyone is like, yes, this is what we've been looking for. What is that thing? What is that thing? It comes from within, not outward. Those are some of the indicators we looked at last time. You know, it comes from within. Now we are going to deal with a few last indicators of the real you. I think it's number 9. It's never boastful, never boastful and insolent. Anything you do and you feel people are celebrating you, but you have no pride in you. You do it with ease. You're like, are you sure I'm good at this? You don't even notice that you're good. You just do it naturally. And as you dive into it to offer it to the people, people just say, oh my goodness, he is talented. He is unique. He is flowing in it effortlessly. He is such a genius in it. That is the real thing. You never feel boastful, proudful, because you know it is not meant for insolency. It's not meant to step over other people. You feel it's a natural thing. Everyone can do it, so you have no need to boast about it. It's never boastful. It's never boastful. You're always humble when you're doing it. You feel, oh, it is okay. People celebrate you. People try to lift you up. You're like, oh, really? You feel you're naturally doing it. There is no need of you feeling important than others. That thing you do, and you find yourself, you still, amidst of praise, amidst of being celebrated, you still feel very low and down to earth. That thing is the real you. That thing is the real you. When people praise you, oh my goodness, what an invention you came up with. Oh, that music was great. Oh, you're so good at hospitality. It does not trigger pride in you. That thing, if it does not trigger when you're celebrated, because you want to know the real man. You want to know the real man. Give them power and money, and you shall discover their true character. When people celebrate you, it comes along with power. When people offer you praise, it comes along with power. Offer them praise. Offer them power, money, and you get to see their true colors, their true character. What is it that you do that amidst the power, the praise, the money, that you will still stay down to earth, humble, not proudful, not feeling important than all the people that are around you? What is that thing? That is the real you. Number 10, the other thing you need to know, it's never optional. It is always mandatory. You cannot opt out of it. You cannot. It is a mandate. It is your command. It is your responsibility. It is your assignment. You cannot detach yourself from it. That's why it compels you. Even when you go into other areas of function, you're always there, but you're thinking about it. You're in the office where you're employed, but you're thinking about it. You're on a function, you're thinking about it. You're in the social circles of friends, you're thinking about it. You're in your private life, you're thinking about it. You're by the beach side, you're thinking about it. Or you're in the club, or anywhere else you go to for fun, for recreationally, you're thinking about it. What is that thing? What is that thing? It is always around you because it's mandatory, never optional. You cannot opt out of it. In it you live, move, and have your being. What is that thing? That is the thing that you need to position yourself you in it, and cause in it is trapped the gateway to your higher life that you've been desiring your entire lifetime. It is the gateway for your breakthrough. It is the gateway for your new beginning. It is your gateway to living in another realm of dimension, in another dimension of a higher living. It is the gateway to the success that you're craving for, that you're admiring about other people. It's because they live to the fullness of their greatness. They live to the fullness of their ingenuity, of their capabilities, of their potential, of their talent. They live to the fullness of the real self. What is that thing, my sister? What is that thing, my brother? Come to think about it. That is the real you. Don't give up on yourself. Don't settle for crumbs. Don't substitute the golden you for cheaper, attractive packages that are offered to you. Do not. I've been there. I know what I'm talking about. It takes a heart that is resolved in itself to say, I don't care what is offered to me. I don't care about the attractive packages. But this is my mandate. It is mandatory. I ought to live it to the fullness. That's why Dr. Miles Monroe did say that the greatest wealth is trapped not in the gold mines of this world. No, not in the silver mines of this world. It is trapped in the graves. The wealthiest place is trapped in the cemeteries, in the graveyards. Why? Because the solutions that the world is eagerly waiting for are never fully lived because of man abusing self to settle for cheaper, attractive packages of them being employed rather than what they were created to live. So all the wealth embedded on the inside of them to offer to the world is taken with them to the grave. Do you want to make a difference? Or do you want to be like them that have carried their wealth to the grave? I do not want to make cemetery to be wealth again. I will not be part of them. Having identified and indicated the real me, my potential and ability as a timeless transformer, a person who flows with life, transformation, motivation, inspiration to people. I'm a change agent. I'm a true living solution to the world's unique problems. Nobody can believe me otherwise. Nobody. You too. Nobody can make you to believe otherwise. You're the exact living solution that the world is waiting for to solve its existing unique problems. Do not let anybody make you substitute that for something cheaper because it has got a glossy packaging. Hey, it is going to get life out of you. It is going to frustrate life out of you. It is going to suffocate life out of you. Do not be trapped in that snare again. Do not. The other thing that you need to understand, the indicator of the real you, it is always a solutions provider, not a problem creator. Anything you do in life and it offers a solution, but never a problem, that is the real you. Where is it that is within you, that when you say and sit down and zero in on it and put your focus on it and divided attention to it, it begins to bring life into other people? What is that thing? That it provides solutions to other people. What is that thing? You know, it ought to be giving life, not taking away life from people. It must be a life creator. In other words, it's a solutions provider. Where is that you offer to people and they feel you have solved the problem to them? You are bringing life in their circles of influence. You're bringing life in their business. You're bringing life in their marriage. You're bringing life in their emotions. You're bringing life in their day-to-day activity. What is that? Is it art? Is it music? Is it dance? Is it poetry? Is it genius invasions? Is it in your leadership? Is it that you solve problems in leaderships, in higher corridors of power? What is that thing? Is it administratorship? What is that thing? Is it your IT abilities? Is it your creativity and ability to think otherwise in the midst of scarcity and pandemics and problems? What is that thing that you offer as a solution, not a problem creator? You are never created to create a problem, but to be a problem solver. As long as you have something that you can offer, as long as you have that something that you can offer, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, my dear, you're right. You're right now on the route of living a higher living, the route of successful people, the route of the people that own 90% of the globe's wealth. You're right on the right path. Stick in there. Stick in there. Do not give up on yourself. Embrace it. Get hold of it. Run with it with undivided attention. As you get up in the morning, 4 a.m. in the morning, 5 p.m. in the morning, run with it. Grind yourself with it. Move with it. Run with it. Walk with it. Crawl with it. Oh my goodness, if you can't crawl, begin to hit yourself up until it is unleashed to the world. Don't throw in the towel. Don't settle for crumbs. You were not created to settle for crumbs of being employed, the salary, the remuneration you get. You're much more than that. You're not a pauper. You were created to live a higher life, to impact, to change, to transform communities, lives. That is what you are born to do. So do not abuse yourself. Don't let yourself to be trapped into self-abuse by settling for glossy, temporary packages at the expense of the real you. Don't do that. You know, the other indicator, it is unique. It is unique. It is always unique. Yes, There might be people that might have done what you do, but when you do it with a different touch. Everybody looks at you and they're like, oh my. He is executingly doing well. He does it with precision. He executes it with a lot of clarity, without any effort, faultlessly, flawlessly. You're so unique. When you get hold of it, everyone looks at you and is like, oh my. Yes, he is the deal. He is the real deal that we've been waiting for in this industry. He is the real deal that we've been waiting for in politics. He is the real deal that we've been waiting for in the entertainment industry. He is the real deal that we've been waiting for in the sports industry. He is the real deal in regards in administratorship is concerned. He is the real deal in the motivational industry, enterprise. He is the real deal that our community, neighborhood is been waiting for. What is that thing that gives you uniqueness, peculiarity, exceptionality, extraordinariness that comes along with you? When you do it, everyone sees as if there is something special about you. What is that thing? That's why First Peter did say that you're a peculiar people. You are not like any other. Everybody is booked except you. So concentrate on you. Everyone else has been taken. Do not, substitute yourself for somebody else. They are already taken. Live in your dimension of the real you. Step your foot into it. Don't let anybody sidetrack you, distract you. Those are destiny slayers, destiny destroyers. If it means to get rid of them as soon as yesterday. They are non-value additions. Get rid of them. Anything that is a non-value additional is not worth holding on to. Take a breath. Think about it. What is that thing you do and it brings uniqueness to you? Do not, I repeat, do not substitute the review for the inauthentic packages, glossy packages, attractive packages of remuneration, wages, salaries, payments that are only temporal but suffocating life out of the real you. Please do not. You're so special. You're exceptional. You're extraordinary. There is none like you. You're beautifully wired, designed, intricately, fashioned together as a unique living solution to address an existing unique problem. We said your failure to show up as a unique living solution is perpetration of you raising up more problems to the world. Because there are a people in life that were created, and you're the only living solution they have for them to be redeemed, to be emancipated from the existing problem that they suffer. Your failure to show up is you ensuring that you're keeping them in that problem. Can you imagine? There are a people that will never rise up to live into their fullness, not until you show up as the real you. They are still subjected to enslavement, to living a pauper life, to living handouts. Living on handouts, just because you've not fully lived to the fullness of the real you. Think about it. Think about it. Some of the problems the world suffers today are not because the world is so gross. No, it's because someone somewhere has failed to live to the fullness of them being the living solutions to that problem. And as long as they are still living on handouts, paychecks, that problem might never find its solution. Not until they rise up, not until they find their place, that's when they will be able to address that existing problem. So it is my honest desire for you to find where is the real you. And that could be in that thing you do that has uniqueness around it, that makes you peculiar, exceptional, extraordinary. The real you must have an indicator of uniqueness when you do it. The other indicator that I want you to understand, it is irreplaceable. You can never replace it with anything else. Like it or not, you will try every other thing else. You will fail in it until you get into that thing, that desire of your life. You cannot replace it with anything. It is irreplaceable. However much you try. That's why you find people in offices. They are all under depression, streets. They wake up from 5 a.m. They're in their offices, moving to work. They have no life. The jobs they are doing, they are suffocating life. They are literally sucking life out of them. They have no life. They are literally into agony, pain, carrying home assignments from work. They never have time for their family, for their children. All they think of is the job. When I get to get done with this assignment, I have this target for this project, for my bosses. I have to carry it home. I have to work on it. And it is sucking life out of them. Why? Because every time they sit in their offices, they feel this is not what they have to do, but just because they have to impress and please their bosses. In other words, they are trying to replace the real them with something else. It is irreplaceable. The real you is irreplaceable. That's why you're suffocating in that job. That's why you're suffocating in that arena. That's why you're suffocating in that place you're imposing yourself for. You're replacing the real you with the inauthentic you. Square up yourself. Do a self-inventory again. Get back to the drawing board and say, hold on a moment. Maybe I need to reconsider here. And as you do that, it may bring you in a place of alone. Everybody may look at you as a crazy person, as a person that has lost it. Because now you're not living to impress people. You're living in order to impact lives, not to impress lives. Anybody that is going to transform, impact, bring change in their community, in lives of their neighborhoods, in the world around them, they are never impressors, but they are impactful people. They impact lives, not impress lives. So, know it, that thing you do, and you feel it cannot be replaced with anything else, probably it is the indicator of the real you. We shall go to the next indicator. It is timeless. Anything you do in life, and it goes as far as your existence on this world, it is not the real you. I repeat, anything you're doing today, and only it can serve as far as your existence on this planet. I'm sorry to say, no, it is not the real you. One of the indicators of the real you, the thing you do, and it is timeless, it goes as far as your existence in this world. You go past it, even when you return to your maker, it will still impact, transform lives. What is that thing? That when you do it, it transforms somebody's life. And every time they think about it, they're like, thank you, Becky. Thank you, Fedabi. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Jonah. Thank you, Carol. If it were not for you, I don't think I would have been here. Even when you return to your maker, it will continue impacting other people's lives. You will become a song on their lips. People have sung songs that are timeless. People have done sports that even beyond their existence, we still celebrate them. The Muhammad Alis, we celebrate them. People have positioned themselves as leaders, timeless leaders. The Martin Luther King. And they are still timelessly influencing us. Malcolm X, they are timelessly influencing us. You know, people that have done great music, art, they are influencing us. Great leaders, they are influencing us. Great innovations and inventories. The White brothers with the planes, you know, they are timelessly influencing us. The Steve Jobs of this world, timelessly influencing us. What is that thing that even after you give your last breath, it will continue impacting lives? What is that thing? That thing is the real you. Do not Do not, please, do not, please, please do not give up on it. Do not substitute it for anything else. Do not, please do not exchange it for the whole world. Sacrifice yourself to it, but do not give in on that thing that is timeless. You keep such powerful, transformational messages that even my departure, a child, when he comes across such a message, he will rediscover themselves and they will not settle. I will keep impacting lives. The Dr. Miles Monroe, we are always quoting them. The Napoleon Hills, we are quoting them. They are still timelessly influencing us. The prophets of this universe. Jesus, we are still quoting them. The Hall of Fame in the book of Hebrews, we are still quoting them. The Peters, the John, we are quoting them. The people that brought impact. Prophet Muhammad, Mama Maria Teresa, they are timelessly impacting lives. Why? Because they offered themselves as a living solution. They never settled themselves. They never substituted the real self for attractive temporal packages. That's why today they are timeless, impactful change agents, transformers. Likewise, you're a timeless transformer. I am too a timeless transformer. That even beyond me, with the little world that I'm surrounded with, I am impacting, transforming lives. What is that thing that you are doing that it will continue impacting, transforming, become a change agent even after your death? What is that thing? It should be timeless. The real you should be timeless. Timeless. That's why you should wait for the book. Man's timelessly seeded assignment. The ultimate solution to the world's existing problem. What is that thing? That is the real you. As long as it has indexes of timelessness in it, hey, that is the thing. Anything you do that has elements, traces, traits of timelessness in it, that even when you leave, people will say, oh my goodness, this is it. You keep on impacting lives even after your departure. You come into a company and people leave, feel your absence, your departure. What is that thing that you do that people will miss you? If you ever leave a place and you're not missed, that means you are not created for that thing. The thing you are doing, you are not created for. If you ever leave a place and you're not missed for what you are doing, that thing you are doing, you are not created for. It's not the real you. But everywhere you go and you're missed for what you are doing, that could be the real thing, because it is timeless. Even without your presence, you're still impact. You're still referred to as a source of knowledge, wisdom, the things, the templates of operation that you created in that administrative office, in that leadership, in that industry, in art, in music. If it is felt, then that is an indicator of the real you. Don't substitute anything for it. Hold on to it and run with it. The other thing you need to know that is very important. The real you is never employable. It's never employable. It's only deployable. There is no amount of money, no amount of remuneration that can ever satisfy you with the real you. That's why you cannot exchange it for anything in life. You can let the entire world go, all your accumulations, all your wealth, all your cars, as long as you're still living within the real you. You are certain that you rise, you will bounce back again. You will rise up again. You will bounce back again. What is that thing that no amount of money can make you to come to a place where you say, you know what? I think, no, however much they give me the whole world, it doesn't matter. I'll stick to this. Take it all. Take the entire world. This one thing, it's never employable. It's only deployable. You deploy yourself at your own discretion. You don't have to be employed in order to be remunerated. You deploy yourself, but not be employed. That could be the real you. Are you deploying yourself or you're being employed? Think about it. Think about it. A person who deploys himself, he does not look at remuneration. He looks at impacting, coming along with a solution that will make a difference wherever he is. Remuneration is only a subsidiary benefit, but not the ultimate goal. Anybody who deploys himself, always, he offers his services with this one mindset: solution. Can I offer solution? Can I bring life? Can I bring change? Can I transform? Can I impact? Any other beneficiary elements that come along with it are only subsidiary. They're never the ultimate thing. Do you want to know the real you? You should come to a place of deploying self, but not employ. Not let yourself to be employed. Last but not least, it is never retirable. You never expire. Never. You don't retire. Anything you do, as long as it's the real you, there is no retirement. You never retire from it. It's irretirable. The real you, you never retire from the real you, because your life is drawn from it. In it you live, move, and have your being. You sleep, eat, drink, eat. Live, move, and have your being in it. So you cannot retire from something that gives you life. People like Billy Graham, until at the age of 90, they were living. They were living because they could not retire. Anything that you do that you retire from is not the real you. The real you never retire until your last breath physically. But even after your death, you're still not retiring. You're still impacting lives timelessly. What is that thing that you're doing that you cannot retire from? That you cannot retire from. What is that thing? Well, I want to urge you, I want to admonish you as we finish. Please do not substitute yourself for anything that is not the real you. The worst unmaking of man today is his self-ignorance to the real him. Do you want to live a higher life? Do you want to be in the 2% that owns the world's worth? 90%, 98% of the world's wealth. You ought to function in the realm, in the dimensions of the real you. Never, never, never again self-abuse by settling for temporal, microwave, glossy, attractive packages at the expense of the real you. You are much more than that. You're the real deal that the world is waiting for. Once again, I'm Edwin Peter, the Timeless Transformer. I'm humbled to speak to you, and I'm looking out for the next real you. You are the real deal that this world is waiting for to solve its existing unique problems. Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you. I hand it back to the High Command Center, Transformers Hub. Thank you, all of you. Bless you. Bye-bye.